nation, and now they're being allied with China. In addition, he never told the American people the kinds of tariffs he were imposing across the board, and some of them very, very high, would raise their costs. It's estimated it'll raise the American costs. American families would have to pay about $4,000 more a year. The price of food and clothing and gasoline, buying a new car, all would go up dramatically. And so he never leveled with the American people, and no one ever imagined it would be as chaotic and as poorly planned. One person says one thing one day, another person says another thing the next day, and another terrible effect it's having, Dana, on this is that businesses, I've been all around my state. I've been in 6 different districts of Republicans, talking to them, talking to the people about tariffs. And small businesses, medium-sized businesses, and large businesses are frozen, even, because they don't know what Trump will do next. And that's heading us into a recession. And what does a recession mean to the average family? You could lose your job, harder to get a new job, costs go up. So the American people are furious. The promises Trump made are far different than how it's been effectuated, and that's why his 100 days are a disaster.
Let me turn to your party, the Democratic Party, and where you are right now in the quest to try to overtake Republicans, certainly in the short term, in the midterms. Republicans have been facing a lot of heat at town halls, but also Democrats have been as well. And there's a lot of frustration towards members of your party, not just from voters, but we're even hearing it from members of your own caucus. I want you to listen to your colleague, Colorado Senator Michael Bennet, what he said this week.
I am furious with the Democratic Party because, in my view, our inability to offer a compelling vision and articulate it to the American people has resulted in Donald Trump being elected not just once, but twice. We need to come to grips with that, and we need to ask ourselves why that is.
What do you think?
Well, look, no, we're doing very well. We are totally united in focusing on Trump on a single message when it, for instance, on tariffs, how chaotic they are and how they have to be focused, on rule of law, how he's not obeying it, and we're showing that to the American people, but also on this upcoming reconciliation bill, where we Democrats have a single message, that Trump is trying to make the middle class pay for tax cuts for billionaires. Our whole party, every member of our caucus is united on that issue. Americans hate it, and we are going after them day after day. As I mentioned, I went to 6 Republican districts during our recent Easter Passover break, and talking to the voters, Republican districts, about what Trump is doing and how their congressmen ought not be embracing him. And then 4 of them signed a letter saying, well, they don't want to cut Medicaid. And so we are really united and focused and strong. The contrast that we are making between who the Democratic Party is, the party for working people, and who the Republican Party is, the party for billionaires and especially privileged people, is having a real effect. And that's why he's doing so poorly in these first 100 days. I think we're on our front foot, and every day we are fighting Trump on multiple fronts.
So there's the message, sir, and then there's the messenger. And when your very longtime friend, former roommate and colleague, Senator Dick Durbin, announced his retirement this week after 3 decades in the Senate, he said, quote, "It's time to pass the torch." We've heard that from other retiring Democrats, Gary Peters, Tina Smith, Jeanne Shaheen. They've all said it's time to let the next generation of leaders take over. Now, you indicated this week that you're going to stay put as Senate Democratic leader for the foreseeable future. Why don't you think it's time to pass the torch?
Look, I am focused on winning, as I have always been, and as leader of the caucus, we are united. Now, we have a lot of talent in the caucus, and my job is sort of an orchestra leader to get us play on the same theme, as you said, I've said, we're united on message, but to highlight all the talent in the caucus in different ways. And we've seen that.
And you're staying put.
With Cory Booker, with so many others. And so, of course, yes, I am staying put, and I'm fighting the fight every day, as is our caucus, in a united and successful way, as you've seen by your poll and other polls. We're showing America how bad Trump is, and showing that Republicans who embrace Trump do so at their peril.
I want to turn to a book that you have recently written and is out. It is entitled Anti-Semitism in America, A Warning. You talk about anti-Semitism on the right, but you also address anti-Semitism within your own party. Here's part of what you wrote, quote, "I worry also about the larger American left, which may look the other way and be too complacent or forgiving about those who exhibit